Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the last episode of my series on Unexpected Joy at Dawn. Unexpected Joy at Dawn by Agyei-Agyiri. Agyei-Agyiri. In the last episode, I stopped at chapter 15 of part 2. So today, I want to start from chapter 16 of part 2. Amen Christi Church converts people to Eba for a crusade. Some of the church members were in the living room of Pablo's wife, who has a year-old baby. Pablo's wife talks about her devotion to Christianity, her job as a bank executive, and her husband's job as an immigration officer. As they discuss a portion of the Bible, they perceive smoke and realize the building is on fire. Mama snatches Pablo's wife's baby and jumps through the window. Pablo's wife and the secretary could not make it out alive. A book's throat has been slithered. The chairman of Amen Christi, who was tied in a burning bus, was saved. The whole havoc was perpetrated by Sam. Mama helps in saving as many people as she could. A journalist commends Mama's bravery and promised to publish a story of her heroic deed. A soldier also commends Mama's bravery. Mama offers to take the child with her until a relative comes. The deadline for aliens to leave Nigeria has expired. People were seen moving to the border. Keke took Nee, the carpenter, and Aaron to the slum, part of Lagos, where they could hide from the immigration officers. He narrates how he had worked hard for 2 years in Nigeria and has been able to save money to buy himself a television and a radio set. He also narrates how his employer refused to pay him for 3 months, tore his passport, and asked him to leave without paying him simply because of the policy of evacuating aliens from Nigeria. When they got to the slum, people were seen at different spots protecting their properties. They watch a firing squad episode on television, and this brings chills on me. He hears the way the criminals are killed. At night, the slum catches fire and they escape. Keke takes them to a friend's place. They were captured and taken to Hajj camp close to the airport. Pablo and a Menkrisi pastor were at Mama's place to thank her for the lives she saved, and the pastor made Mama to understand that they've changed their stance on Mama's marriage to Joe. In Hajj camp, aliens who couldn't leave before the deadline were flooded there. Neil was dehydrated. He asked for water but couldn't get. An old man told him to stop asking for water because some of them had stayed there for 3 days without water nor food. Nee sees a dying cat, he picks it up and somehow it assuages his thirst. The carpenter has seen a relative in the camp and has gone with him. Nee sees Linda and runs to meet her. She narrates how she was caught when she had been helped by a Nigerian to get a visa for London and had written to her husband that she would join him in 2 days. Nee sees the man who abandoned his family in Ghana and ran away with Sisu money. He tells Nee he couldn't go back to Ghana out of shame and what the market people would do to him once they see him in Ghana. Another man approached Nee and asked for 10 kobo to use and buy water before he dies. He also wants Nee not to sleep at a corner in the camp because anyone who sleeps in the corner dies. As no one looked his way, he collapsed and died. Nee snatched a blade from a boy in the camp who was selling some wares there. He gets a sheet of paper from Linda, made a small cut on his finger, and used his blood to write on the sheet. He wrote, "We are all going to die here. We are all going to die here." The boy he snatched the blade from, without paying, reported him to the corporal. Hence, he did not succeed in stirring the people to a revolution. Moments later, a lady alleged that a corporal had raped her, and the whole camp surged towards the corporal who didn't understand what was happening, and before he realized what was happening, his gun had already been snatched from him by Nee. He was held down, and the people expected Nee to shoot him, but he didn't. He talked about the unity of Africa, the consequences of prejudice, and so on. When the crowd got tired of listening to him, they bounced on the words that are sold in the camp and made away with whatever they could. Nee, Aaron, and Linda ran into a cassava farm. As they sat under a tree to eat the cassava they had uprooted from the farm, they saw the dangling body of the man who ran away with the susu money. Linda decided to go to the airport, which was close to the camp. Nee and Aaron leave for Ijesha. Mama received Joe at the airport. On their way to Ijesha, Joe saw in the Ghanaian dailies that he was holding that I put it to me has been shot dead at the mines. The circumstances and the place that I put it to me is reported to have been shot coincides with the place and the circumstances that Tally O was shot. Joe does not want to believe that Tally O is the same person as I put it to me. Mama noted that it's the same person that swindled her. After getting the direction to Ijesha from a drunken man staying beside an abandoned vehicle, Nee and Aaron set out to Ijesha. The distance is a very long one. They walked to Ijesha, sometimes having to hide in the bush to escape being caught by the immigration officers. Nee bought bread with part of the 2 naira that he got from Keke. They went to a construction site and asked for a job and were given a job. At night, they slept in the construction site. The next day, they continued working at the site, but unfortunately, the part of the building where Aaron was working collapsed. He rose from the rubble, injured, and they asked the foreman to pay them for a day and a half they had worked. But the foreman did not give them a dime, but rather threatened to call the immigration officers on them. At night, Indem's wife, who had seen them walk into the bush after buying something from her, told her husband that she saw armed robbers walk into the bush. She persuaded him to go after them as the head of the vigilante group. Then his husband reluctantly went into the bush with other vigilante members, including people living in the neighborhood. Aaron, who was suffering severe pains from the accident at the site, jumped out the window and died. Nee surrendered. Fortunately, Joe, who was with Mama, was able to recognize him and he got reunited with Mama. He wept over the death of Aaron. Aaron's body was deposited in the mortuary and Mama promised to give him a befitting burial. She regrets why such a talent that would have been useful in the building industry would be wasted. This is where the novel ends. I hope you enjoyed the story from the first episode to this last one. This is the fifth episode. I hope you've watched the first one, second, the third, and the fourth one before watching this one. If you haven't watched them, please endeavor to watch them. Thank you very much for watching and see you in my next video. And I'll be talking about the themes in this novel in another video. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed already. Click on the like button, it helps to promote our videos on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching and do not forget to share, please. Don't forget to share to your friends. Bye for now.